Happy Saturday. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, Colleen. Hi, guys. I see everyone here. Oh, awesome. Hi, Bess. Oh, Linda's here. Hi. Hey, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, I've got a really awesome show for you today. It's been something that I've been so excited about. We designed a seed bead mix. I'm working with Sam's Bead Shop to come up with very cool seed bead integrations. And with Sam's Bead Shop, it's going to have gemstone inspiration. So anytime you combine seed beads with gemstones, you are going to get something very beautiful, super unique, and very earthy and just very inspiring and calming and all the wonderful things that you get with gemstones, right? So in this case, we drew inspiration from fall. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. I'm excited for fall. In fact, yesterday I ordered my very first pumpkin titled seasonal beverage from our favorite coffee place. And so it's on, right? If fall is on, and I'm excited. And this mix has all those feelings. It is a Red Creek inspired by red jasper. And so the gemstone colors, we tried to pull those out with the seed bead mix. So you've got a seed bead mix that feels like a jasper gemstone. So ocean jasper, Red Creek jasper, and the gemstones to match. Plus a few extra Czech glass pieces to give us a lot to work with. And so I have a few things I want to share with you before I dive into the project. First is, where do you get these supplies, and where can you go to see a great summary of all the supplies that I've used here today? So there is a link, and I'm just going to pop the link up on the screen really quick from earlier. If you go to, let's see, right here, I believe it's this one. So this is the patterns and tutorials link. And that's on my website, and you will find a PDF document, and I'm going to pop that up on the screen later, but I've got a whole PDF for you today that shows step-by-step how to do the stitch, and it summarizes the supplies that I've used. But the best place to go is right here, because everything's located clickable for you. It'll take you right to the app if you're on your phone. I discovered that earlier today. But if you're on your computer, it'll take you to the webpage, showing you links to all of the supplies that I've used here. And so there's a lot of beautiful things, starting with the seed bead mix. And so the seed bead mix, again, that's the Red Creek Jasper mix. And we called it just Red Creek mix, but I keep adding Jasper to it because it feels like that. And it is an 8-0 Miyuki seed bead mix. So I'm going to be working with some beading thread, and I'm going to be using beautiful gemstones. The gemstone selections are here. Let me just show you really quick, and then I'm going to show you the pieces. So I'm going to make my screen the main really quick so that you can get a great view of everything. I'll solo layout this, and I'm just going to take the banner down. Okay. And so just bringing over my bead mat for clarity, there are these really cool jasper tubes. I believe these are the ocean jasper ones, and they have the potential to become a very cool focal at the bottom of an earring. And so that's what I did on the earrings. And so 2 different configurations go in here. I've got one that has just Czech glass for the top and a mix of seed beads, and then one where I did the mix pulled out into palettes, into color block palettes, to show off the gemstones that way. And so both of these they're just really great options for you to try out for creating, just any kind of inspiring design. And then, so that's the earrings. The bracelets are super beautiful. And I had inspiration to do a solid color using these carved Czech glass bicones. And so what I did is I just let the mix be the star in this one. So you've got the 8-0 seed beads with just the solid color Czech glass, and then your eyes are just drawn to the random palette. And then I made little dangles at the back. So that's one option. But then this one has got a little more of a gemstone focus, and this is a great way to use your gemstones. I stitched this one up using color blocking again, and this time highlighting these Red Creek Jasper mixed strands. As you can see, I just kind of went with every other one there. And so that was just, it was really fun. I enjoyed creating this design. And let's see, anything else to show you? Oh, yes. So I'm going to be bringing in some of these little spacers on the earrings. You can use them on the bracelet too, but the main place where they really shine is right here on the top of the earring. They bring all of the strands together. So just like that. And I thought that was really cool. So I'm going to show you how to do all of this. And again, there is a PDF document. And so I'm going to show you that really quick. Yeah, and Linda says she can see all these beads making a beautiful freeform bracelet. Yeah, that was the dream. That was the main goal that I had, was to bring all of these gemstones, together as one. I used these mainly as charms on a lot of the designs here, because I really love these little combinations of coins. They come together so nice. So I'm going to add this PDF document here. So it's going to walk you through all the links that I've shared here in the chat. These are clickable links. So when you get the PDF, you can just click on them, and it's going to show the structure of how we're going to start the design and then how to finish it. I used the earring as the illustration just because an earring fits better on the page, but the instructions are the same for both the earring and the bracelet, and if you wanted to do a necklace for that as well. All right, so hey, let's dive in. I'm going to go ahead and make this the main screen again. All right. Oh, thank you, Becky. She says these designs are so pretty. Yeah, and so let's see. I'm going to demo. Let's demo this one first. I'm thinking this one because it's going to uses the most gemstones. But this one was the same process. It was just Czech glass and a random. So let's go with this. And I already have some of those beads ready to go. And I've got a mix ready to go. So just going to clear the area here. Okay. Let's get our palette going. I love the sound of beads coming out of a tube. This makes me so happy. And I'm going to use some 8-pound stitching thread today. You can use Wildfire, Fireline, 6-pound or 8-pound. All of those are going to work great for you. You can use anything. And I think even if you wanted to use some like nylon beading thread, I think you could get that to work for you too. It would be a little flowier. All right. And for my beading needle, this is another one of those super forgiving. You can use a lot of different kinds of beading needles. And for me, I think I'm going to use just a size 11. Just got to find my beading needles, guys. One second. I think I misplaced them. I might have brought them back down to my other work area. So I'm just going to grab another beading needle. And it looks like the ones I've got here are actually size 10. But no worries, because this is size 8 seed beads. And none of the Czech glass and none of the gemstones have tiny holes. So you're going to have no trouble getting through them. All right. So let's flatten the end here. And you can write down that today is the day Danielle forgot to bring beading needles to a beading class. Luckily, I have them everywhere in my house. Oh, hey, Rachel, you're here. Hi. Yeah, Rachel, you'll love this mix. It is really cool. And you didn't miss anything. We just got started. So you're doing good. And we're going to show first the bracelet and then the necklace. And so once again, this is downloadable. This is a PDF. It has links to this video, and it has links to where you can buy everything I'm using. This will take you directly to a landing page where everything I'm using Um, Sam's Bead Shop already put it all together. So you can find all of the Ocean Jasper, the Red Creek Jasper, all of the Czech glass I'm using, and of course the seed bead mix, Red Creek. So it'll all be there for you. And what I like to do is I like to start with a stop bead. And so in case a stop bead is something new to you, you just want to string one bead and you want to just slide it to the end and go ahead and leave a tail that's long enough to do some either finishing or weaving in. So I think I said 12-inch tail in the directions, which is plenty. It'll give you lots of extra. And as far as how much beading thread to cut, that depends if you're making a necklace or a bracelet. I usually just go with a wingspan and then add thread if I need to. When this design will be super easy to add. And I'll show you that when we do weaving in. It's kind of the same process. So I've got the size 8 seed bead on here. And I really liked the color block look here. So I'm going to do this again. And let's just start with the fennel, because that is one of my favorite colors in the mix. So there's the beautiful fennel color. And if you're doing the earring, we'll probably do the earring at the end, but if you're doing the earring, before you put on the seed beads, you could start with one of the Orion spacers. And I didn't do that on my bracelets. Let me show you really quick. On my bracelets, I went right to the clasp from a seed bead. But if you wanted to, you could put one of the Orion spacers like that too, if you wanted. So it's kind of up to you, whatever you think is the right look. There's really no rules. I thought it was really nice on the earring though, to have that be the top. Just seemed really cute. You can also go directly to a bead. So there's really so many ways you can put this together. So I'm going to string that. And then let's put on a bead. And then let's pick another color. Let's do like 3 more in a different color. And I alternated from one size bead to the next. So I went from this size to the next one, back to the other one. And then I switched colors every time on this design. On the other one, I mixed them all up. And so I've used fennel. I've used a limestone, the olive. Let's use this one is like a Picasso ruby. It's like a flame red Picasso ruby. Really pretty color. Oh, I just kept catching up on the chat really quick, seeing. Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, I hope the PDF is helpful. I realize that it's kind of focuses on the earring, but the instructions talk about the bracelet too. So I'm hoping that it totally jumps out and makes really good sense. And we're just going to take this to the length that we are hoping for a finished bracelet minus the clasp. Goes pretty quick. And I just used all the colors in the mix, so I'm going to go back to fennel. And let's see how many I want to do. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 or 11 beads will give you about a 7-inch bracelet when you're finished, if you're using these same beads I'm using. And you're going to go with just like a standard lobster claw. 10 or 11 beads will get you there. I'm also spacing them with 3, but there's potential to change that too. If you wanted to do 2 or 4, you could do that as well. And ooh, look at that one. That's a pretty one. I like that one. Okay. There's 8. And into the orange. Cool. Jan was saying that they had thunder and lightning. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Today we have rain. And we had some electrical storms. Well, I think it was either Thursday night or Friday night. I'm losing track of which day now, but yeah, it was kind of unusual I live in the Pacific Northwest and near Seattle, and we usually don't get that kind of weather, but I was pretty impressed to see that, like, bright lightning, big lightning storm. It was like having Florida flashbacks from when I was a kid. I used to not want to, get out of the swimming pool. My mom would make us get out of the pool when it stormed like that. Alright, and so far so good. It's that easy. You just string your design, and this is the part of the design that is, I find so meditative and fun. It's because I can just take any beads I want. Beautiful gemstones are always a plus, and string them in an order that I think is gorgeous, and then just go from there. And so in the instructions, what you'll see is that it shows how to do the picot for the bottom of an earring. But if you're working with the bracelet designs, this is a great opportunity to bring in either your clasp, a jump ring, or if you want, you can use a connector. And so I have these beautiful Hammertone ovals. And they're actually left over from the project I did for the brios for Sam's Bead Shop. And so I had a bunch left. And so I decided those would be a great addition to my design. And then I'm just going to use a regular lobster claw for the other side. All right, and so whatever side works, I think I'll probably do this one on that side. And we'll just do the lobster claw on this side. So this is where you can get creative and you can kind of go and experiment. You could go for, I'm going to do this actually. I want to use one of these spacers on here. So again, these are those 4-point Orion spacers. Really pretty. I think that would look cute as a nice little cap on that bead. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to add one seed bead and go through my clasp. And again, this is just a design choice. You can get this to work lots of different ways. So again, I just strung some beads here, got the clasp on there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip the clasp and go back through these beads here. So the seed bead and the spacer I added, and then I'm also going to go through the gemstone. All right. And so you'll get something that looks just a bit like that. And don't worry, we're going to be back this way to reinforce it. So it's okay to just let that be one loop for now. There's also more opportunities to make it tighter. So keep in mind, this is still open on that side. So don't worry so much about the tension. Well, you can just right now focus on design and the next steps. So if you wanted to here, you could, add different colors. I'm going to stick with what I did on this one, and I'm going to make each section a color block. So I'll add, let's do 3 of the fennel. So I just like that. And you're going to skip the 3 seed beads here. This is a lot like peyote stitch. In fact, I kind of, let's see, a question about the PDF. August 20. It should be there. I tested it earlier. If you're going to the link on my website, it should be there. It's the let's see. Let's see. I tell you what, I will take a look at the end and just when I get to the end, I'll pop it up on the screen and show you the actual page where you can link to it. Hopefully, if I can figure out how to share. But it's definitely there. I looked earlier. So if you just go to the patterns and tutorials at daniellewickesjewelry.com. Oh, yeah. Colleen just posted a link here. I'm going to pop it up on the screen. Okay, so once you click on patterns and tutorials, the Red Creek Mix is the very first blog post you'll see on that page. And when you click on that, the PDF is linked there. Oh, Linda says she wishes she had these beads in front of her right now. Oh, Linda, I wish I could make them appear on your bead mat. I would do that if I could. I wish I could beam beads to people. I think that would be really awesome. And you know what I think? Linda mentioned bead weaving, and she hasn't done bead weaving in ages. This is a great, start back into bead weaving because it's super beginner friendly. So far we're we're kind of doing peyote stitch here, but it's with 8 seed beads with big gemstones and things like that. And so, yeah. So now I'm going to match the next color and I'm going to skip those 3 right here. And I'm going to go through just the next gemstone. And we're going to do that to all the way to the end. Okay. So just 3 beads that match the color of the next gemstone, the ones I'm skipping. And then tripping through the next gemstone there. Nice, easy pattern. Go right through here. And every one of these colors was, we put a lot of thought into it. We hand selected each one. And it really does. It pulls out those colors. If you look at the stones, just the beautiful colors coming out of each one. I love how this one kind of pulls out that. It's really gorgeous. You could even match your seed beads to the gemstone it's next to, that kind of thing. You could really get creative. I'm going to go through the next one here. Oh, that's a great idea too. Yeah. I'm gonna pop this one up. Yeah, I wish we could do that too. Me too, because one of the things that I've struggled with when I do my PDF documents is it makes sense to me, but I do need a couple of other folks to read through them and tell me if it makes sense to them too. Because I find that sometimes it just really helps to hear that it does make sense. It doesn't always come out that way from my brain, but it looks amazing in my brain. Oops. I'm gonna tighten that back up. So far, this is what we've got. Looks really cool. And I'm going to get 3 more of the limestone. And go through the last one here. And I just took off the stop bead that we put on at the beginning. And so from here, you can kind of decide, do you want to add another gemstone or a spacer? I feel like I want to go with another gemstone. I wasn't originally planning to, but maybe that will look really cute. Or maybe we'll just do a spacer to kind of match what we did here. So in that case, I might pop off those seed beads. And what I might do is go spacer and then another seed bead. We'll stick with a fennel. I don't know. So it's really sky's the limit. You can design any way you'd like. What do you think of that? Does that look cute? I want to match what I did on this side, and I felt inspired to use the spacer on that side. So at this point, I would like to check the length out really quick. Let's measure it, because I strayed a little bit from my original design, and I just want to make sure I'm right where I want to be. So by the time I have the connector on, that's going to put it right out to here. Yeah. So this is what I'm going for, but if you wanted to add more beads now, you still could. You could string on to this one and then follow it with this one, adding beads if you needed to. So it's a really flexible way to kind of get started when you're not 100% sure where you want to take it. I am going to leave the tail behind right here, just kind of on purpose, just ignoring it for now. And here's my connector. I'll string that. And what I'm going to do now is go back through the seed bead, spacer, and the gemstone. Just pull all of that together. And I'm using my tail as a way to just, I'm not going to tighten it too much. I don't want to cinch all of this beautiful flowing, work, but can use that to just kind of pull everything together. There we go. Okay, so we're going to make another trip back this way. And along that journey, we're going to add the same seed beads one more time. So we'll have 3 in total, and it's going to look like a, it kind of almost looks like you've done a herringbone rope in a way. Just a way of doing like a fake herringbone rope with only 3 sections there. So I've got the 3 seed beads coming on right here. So I'm going to go through the next bead here. and just trying to get just through the gemstone. And there we go. Copy that all the way to the end. There we go. Oh, yes. Thank you, Linda. Linda answered a question about the thread I'm using. I'm using 8-pound Fireline, but it's not required. You can use Wildfire in either of the sizes. Both 0.006 and 0.008 will work. 6-pound Fireline will also work. And I even think you could probably get away with 4-pound. Also, you could probably use nylon beading thread. I think it's stronger with the gemstones to use one of the more synthetic fiber ones, but or stronger, not necessarily having to be the exact brand I'm using, but just something kind of strong and that can support a gemstone. Yeah, Tina. So we strung it. We just strung one part and then we came back and did 2, and now I'm adding a 3rd, which will bring me back to this side of my design. Puts me right where I need to be to reinforce my connection with my clasp, and then I have done a whole bracelet. This is by far the fastest way to do a seed beaded rope known to man. I think it is the quickest way. And it looks like you did a seed beaded rope and that you embedded gemstones in it. So it just has everything that I need in my life right now. Gemstones in everything. Okay, so I'm going to just say what this part has one little extra thing I want to make sure I share with you guys. And so you're going to have 3 more here, right? Go through the gemstone. Go ahead and continue through the spacer. And if you're using one, or just the seed bead if you've got that, or if you're going direct to your clasp, that's great too. But you want to make sure you get to that spot. So for me, it was going through a spacer and a seed bead. And now I'm right where I want to be with my clasp. I'm going to go through clasp right here. And from here, I'm going to do 1 turning step to reinforce. And let's see, I just got a quick question, guys. Sorry. So you can do that with a lobster. Yeah, yeah, you can. This is so this is like the do what you want bracelet, honestly. It's so cool because you can start with your lobster claw, you can start with your connector, you can start with a stop bead like I did. Gives you the ability to change your mind at the end if you want to change the way your design is started or finished. It's so free. You can try it on and just make sure you're liking it before you finish it. But that's step 2 when I was over here and I was kind of making decisions about putting the spacer on. That's the spot where you can make changes. So from here, I'm kind of committed. I've got it mostly ironed out. So I'm going to keep going from here, but I do need to reinforce this connection, maybe just one more time. So I'm through the lobster claw loop right now. And I want to make a trip back down through the seed bead. And I want to also get through the spacer, which I could probably do in one swoop. And I'm going to go through the gemstone. Here we go. You might have to wiggle it around for a second to find it, but you'll get there. And when you get here, I've got a little trick to share with you that you can use to make a turn. So we've got these beautiful little combinations of seed beads here. Go through one of those columns of 3. So just like that. And then you can make a turn. And you can come up through the adjacent. Either one, doesn't matter which one. You can just pick one. And then it will easily give you the ability to be heading back in the other direction. So getting all the way through. In this case, I got through all those beads in one swoop. That's super lucky. It just doesn't happen for me like that. But Your goal being to get through whatever beads you used as your little end cap here. We kind of made a little end cap, I feel like. So I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to loop through the lobster claw right here. And back through these beads. And that time I got through pretty easily there. Oh, and I've seen a great suggestion popping up in the chat. Let me just highlight that one. You can use French wire at the ends. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You could totally do that. Oh, and thanks, Lynn. She says she loves this bracelet design. Thank you so much. Yeah, and so from here, we're pretty much done with this side. We've got it nice and reinforced. That's really strong. And to weave in, all you need to do is kind of a repeat of what I've just done here. This is also how you add thread. So if you want to do a really long design, the way you would add thread is going to be pretty much the same as what I'm about to show you to weave in. So right now I'm exiting from the gemstone here. I'm going to go through any of those 3 columns right there. So I just picked that one. And let's go through our next gemstone. Okay, so from here, I'm going to go down through 3 of the seed beads. So there's that. Make a turn and come up through the next 3, just the seed beads. And then make another turn to come down through the last set there. And now you're ready to keep going. So go down through the next gemstone. And you can repeat that again. And then through the gemstone. So if you do that once, twice, 3 times, that's a pretty good weaving in. And if you were bringing in a new strand, so if you have a brand new strand you're trying to add, what you would do is you would just bring it in through a gemstone and make more of these turns, 2 or 3 until your tail stops moving and you're headed in the direction you want to be. And you got it. So how easy is that? I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to trim mine. And then I think I'm just going to take a quick look, but I think we can do the earring. Yeah, we're doing great. Okay. All right, so I am going to use the thread burner. Feel free to use flush cutters, scissors, whatever you've got. I'm just going to grab a quick thread burner here. And just cinch that end off. Okay. There it is. That side's done. This side I need to finish. So super easy. Just going to pop on the needle that I have from here and save this extra thread. That can become my earring later. Almost got it. There we go. All right, so this is ready to go. And I am currently exiting from this gemstone. So let's just make a trip up through the spacer and the seed bead. Oh, hi, Linda. Oh, thanks, Stephanie. Thanks, Tina. I went through the connector and I'm going to go back through the seed bead, the spacer, and hopefully the gemstone all together. And now I'm going to do the same thing I did before, where I'm going to use the seed beads here as a way to make a turn. And they should bring me right back up here for my connection with my connector. And when I get back down here, I'm going to just travel through any set of those seed beads and head right down into my gemstone. And from here, we'll do the same thing. We're just weaving in. Go through one, go through the next, and then just turn it in your hand and head through the 3rd set. And go right down Same thing. I'm going to do this once more, and then I'm going to trim it. And I think some of the questions that I haven't seen those pop up in the chat just yet, but I did get one quick question for somebody who sent me an email after they saw the post, and they were asking me if they could use size 11 because there is a beautiful seed bead mix right now that is for the Deb Floros Sam's Beads box, and it's golden. And guys, it's gorgeous. And so she was wanting to use the 11-0 mix that was made to complement that with beads from that box. So my answer on that email was absolutely, and please tag me so I don't miss seeing it. I want to see it. I can just see all those little citrus, like little beads popping up in a design like this. It'd be so pretty. All right, and so what I'm doing now is just getting the thread through the next bead, and I'm going to go ahead and trim that now too. It's that easy. Isn't that cool? Okay, so to do my clasp, I'm going to want to put some jump rings on there. No, thanks, Mary. And then I also have handy a few of these head pins. So let's just grab 2 of those. You can go crazy and make them even more wild, but obviously where I'm going to take this, because I'm me, is I'm going to put dangly pretty things on there. So some of those options include, of course, gemstones. So let's see. I'm thinking, ooh, look at that one. Yes, please. That one is beautiful. Okay, go with that one. And then my other one is going to be dangles with spacers. So that was really cute before. Let's make that one first. So just like that. On a head pin and some round nose pliers. And I'm just going to make a wrap loop really quick. I love the way that looks. It's really cute. And do I have flush cutters? I do. There we go. Tuck the tail. Okay, so that one's ready. And then, let's see, I'm going to put this one. Yeah, I think it's beautiful by itself. We could also, we could put a seed bead on top. Ooh, I like that. Okay. This design is so freestyle. You can do anything and it would just be amazing. There we go. I'm just being careful so my seed bead stays good. Okay. Fun part, we're going to put it all together. So let's start with, connect that one. And here's this one. Oh, thanks, Robin. She says, nice bracelet. Thank you. And on this last link, I'm going to put my charms. So let's start with, I'm going to start with Yeah, let's go. I'm thinking about the direction I want each one to hang. There we go. So there we go. Super freestyle, guys. That is beautiful. So let's do an earring really quick. And let's see. I was going to show this one as the earring because it's just, something different. We can see what the mix looks like versus the solid. Let me bring the solid one over. Both really beautiful options here. Oh, hey, Jennifer. No, don't worry. You'll be able to catch the replay. So plus I can teach you. Yeah, and so I'm gonna demo this one really quick. We've got just enough time for an earring. So let's go ahead and grab my thread. This is my leftover thread from the bracelet. So if it helps anybody to know, I had done a wingspan of thread and then in the beginning, and that was about 70 inches or so. And I've got all this left to do my earring with after making my 7-inch bracelet, which beaded length of about, let's show you that really quick. So its beaded length was about 5 1/4. And then by the time I got the clasp and everything on there, I'm up at 6 1/2. By the time I clasp it over here, closer to 6 1/4. So that's really perfect. It's going to work out really good. Okay. So let's do, I'm going to need to break open a new strand of this beautiful Czech glass. They have this, guys, they have this in other colors too. I saw that there was a pink one. I think it was, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I saw it on the live sale with the box for the box extras or the box unboxing, or I do believe I saw it somewhere like that, but I know it's also on the link that where all of these beads are. It's on that landing page. So you'll be able to find them there in different colors too. So let's see. I only used 2, it looks like. And I used an Orion spacer for the top. And so all I need is one of these beautiful things. These are the Ocean Jasper barrels. And I have a little baggie of them here. Just going to pick a color, any color. I kind of selected out those reds on purpose. This one had look at that gorgeous strand with that color next to it. Just really was perfect. So let's try something different this time. I'm going to pull out the olive this time. We'll do olive at the bottom. Awesome. Okay, let's go. So for the earring, the again, step-by-step instructions for the earring right here. Stop bead. And to make a stop bead, you just string it and then go back through the bead. My tail's a little short. Let me make that longer. Here we go. And it says about 12 inches. That's plenty. You could even get away with a little less. Okay, and I am going to string this spacer now. And then let's go for 3 seed beads. And I'm going to try really hard to be random. And then a bead. 3 seed beads and a bead. So far, so good. And then there we go. And so I'm going to go through the gemstone. And from the bottom, I did a multicolor picot on this one. But I really kind of feel like I want to do olive for this one. Let's see what that looks like. I feel like that's going to glow next to it. So string those 3. And then it's really easy to make a really beautiful picot. Just skip those last 3 you strung. And go right up through the gemstone. And now randomly select 3 more. Skip the 3 and go through the In this case, it's a Czech glass bead. And do that again. And one last addition of 3. And we're here at the top of the earring. So all we need to do is go through the Orion spacer. And I'm avoiding the stop bead. I can remove that now. Just pinch it, pull it off. It should come right off. And now I just want to pick the color that is going to meet my ear wire. So I did like that look of having a seed bead right above the spacer. I thought that was really pretty. I'm going to do that again. I need a ear wire. And then I used some jump rings. So the jump rings are optional. You could go directly to your ear wire, but I liked the look of having a couple hanging like that because it makes it nice and flowy and sway. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to just close these really quick. There's one. All right. So I do need another seed bead because I took off the stop bead and I'd like to have a bead above my spacer. Colleen says she struggles with random. Yeah, I do too. But you know what I use as a secret for random is I just make sure I pick up a different color and every time I pick up 3. But then I don't have to worry about what I did before or after that. So it's usually kind of works for me. So seed bead, and then I'm just going to go through the jump ring and then back through the seed bead and the spacer. And again, we're going to use our tail here as an assist to just kind of pull it all together like that. And from here, we're just doing 3, 3, and 3. So I just made sure, each one was different and go through. Here's the gemstone. There we go. So now I've got that. All I've got to do is weaving in and reinforcing. We're still good on time, so I'm just going to quickly do that really easily. Go through. When I go through picots, guys, I like to go through the beads individually so I don't, cause them to join. I want to preserve that little pop. So I just went through them by themselves. We don't need to reinforce the picot like we did the clasp. We can let that be there. But if you felt like you wanted to reinforce the gemstone, you could do that. Same way we did the clasp and the connector on the bracelet. You would just do the trip through. So up through 3, down through 3, go through the picot again and come up. I'm going to just start my weaving in from here. So I got through one set of 3 here. And then down through these 2. Turn it and then up through these 3. Right up through these 3 here. All right. Up and right down to these. On the earring, we only have 3 segments, so pretty easy. And then I'm going to show one extra little thing you can do here. So from here at the top, I'm going to go ahead and do that same little zip around. That's my 3rd one. And then I'm going to head up here and reinforce my jump ring. And now I'm just going to go through the seed bead. And the reason I'm going through that is I've met with my tail. So this is probably possible on the bracelet too. You're traveling through a much longer strand on the bracelet. So getting all the way back here on a bracelet, probably less practical, although, you could. But now I have this tail thread. I've got this thread. I could not if I wanted to. And so just remembering what direction we're heading. So remember that the tail thread's heading up this way. So after I do my knot, I'm going to bring it through the seed bead and trim it. I'll bring the working thread, which has my needle, through the spacer and trim it down there so that that knot kind of hides inside the spacer. So let's do just a really quick double knot, which, by the way, this is optional. You could just weave this down, but it is a time saver. So and I'm going to bring working thread down. If you get through a seed bead, don't worry, that's okay. And then I'll take the tail thread one second. Helps me thread my needle if I flatten it. There we go. And I'm just going to bring that right up through the seed bead. Okay. One last chance to just tighten everything up. And then it's thread burner time. So we'll take the thread burner on one of these ends. And then this one on the top here. On the top, be careful, don't burn your other strands. One way I avoid burning a strand is I'll pull it in the other direction so you can see it. It's on the edge of the seed bead there. It's not going to burn the strands that are connecting my jump ring. And you can even kind of like work it to the side of your seed bead a little bit. There it goes. Ooh, I like that one. Every time I make one of these, it's just a little different than the last one and always equally as pretty, but never the same. So here's the other two. And what I would do is I would match. I pulled this one out earlier. So I would kind of match those together. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Colleen. She says gorgeous. Oh, thanks, Leslie. And I have a question. So how light or heavy? They are not super heavy, actually. These look like they weigh a lot, but they're just one of them by themselves doesn't. And so, you know, I can put them on the gram scale and see, but if I had to make a guess, I would say maybe 10 grams or less. It doesn't feel like it weighs a lot. I think in seed bead weights. So if you would like to hear ounces, I'd have to put it on the scale. But I think my mind measures in seed beads. Oh, thanks, Bess. Thanks, Mary. Thanks, Lynn. Thanks, Linda. Yeah, so here's the bracelet we made in class and the earrings. And then here's my samples from earlier. So there's those. I'm just going to move these out a little out of the way. And then that set. And I wanted to point out one really cool thing is that this one is just a little bit different in that I only did 2. See how each of these stacks? And that enabled me to use more gemstones. And you could also, if you were trying to get your gemstone stash to stretch further, let's say you only had like 4 gemstone beads, but you wanted to use them, you could increase this to 5, 4 or 5 even. That would also still work. This stitch is going to work with different counts, so feel free to try it. The only thing that I would say is it works a little better if you match the count for each segment with the other, you know, with the other beads in it. But that doesn't mean one can't be 3 and then 1, 2, and then 1, 4. There's so many things you can do. It's going to work no matter what. Thanks, Linda. And so Colleen has posted for you guys the links for the supplies right here. And then on Sam's landing page, everything that I've got here on my mat is linked all in. It's all in the same place, so you can find it really easy. Yeah, and so let me see if there's any questions that I missed really quick. I want to make sure I answered everyone. And then I was going to share something special that is coming up. And I don't even think I've shared this with Shire or Sam or Rachel yet, so you guys are gonna be seeing it first, but I'm excited about it. So Monday nights, I do a quick, Monday, usually we do like a technique or a finishing. It's just a little short, quick video. I already have my project done for that, and it uses the Red Creek mix. And I only have one, it's a 1-year wonder for now, but it will very soon be matched with its set. So I did a little statement earring. I say little, but it's actually a really big statement earring. I'll put it on here in a minute, but I just want to show you up close that it is herringbone. And I started with the thought of doing a bracelet, and then I saw, oh, I have all these beautiful little rounds. And I love these little Orion spacers. I'm like obsessed with them right now. They're like my thing. They're so cute because they're like a little bead cap. See? And so I put those on my rondelles, use them as the bottom of my charm. And then up here at the top, I use them as a way to do my ear wire join. So this is a little different, and it's totally optional because you could just pop an ear wire on that directly with some seed beads or wire guardian, the usual thing. But I thought that was cool too. So I'm going to show you how I did that in my little extra on Monday. All right, let me switch back here. And then let me just show you how it looks because I have another earring in right now. I should have taken it out, but see how long it is? It's like a shoulder duster. Let's try it on this side. It's like really cool. So if you like this and you want to see how I made it and you want to get the pattern, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a link to the video when it's done. What time on Monday? Usually I try to post them by 4 p.m. on Mondays. And so that one is definitely going to be there, maybe earlier, but at least by 4 on Monday, along with the pattern. And I'm going to use the same link that we've been dropping for this video. So the page that has the PDF for today's project, this will be there as soon as I get it done. Yeah, it's usually my Monday morning project that I do. It's just kind of finishing up. I've actually kind of partially filmed the start of this already, so I have half of it done. So I'm pretty much on plan to have it ready for you. All right. Well, hey, I'm going to let you guys go and enjoy it's Saturday night for a lot of you guys, and it's getting to be Saturday night for me. I'm thinking I might go to a movie. Also, I might need another seasonal pumpkin beverage from my favorite coffee place. So that's where I'm headed. I'm wishing you a really great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Happy beading, guys. Bye.